Well, hello there, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a collective channeled message ahead of us. I'm very excited about this one. The idea with this one is that it's going to be a timeless channeled message, which is going to be addressed to all of those who stumble upon this video. So if you're here, welcome aboard, grab a seat, go grab yourself a nice drink, and relax and enjoy. We're gonna have a nice conversation. I'm already feeling so many energies moving through. Very excited about this one. Right before we jump in, just a reminder that if you enjoy the video, please like it and subscribe so you don't miss out when your boy posts new videos like this one. And yeah, as I said, I'm feeling a lot moving, very deep energy, so I'm eager to get into it. So let's get to it. I've been feeling lately some very deep energies, which are really picking up on my curiosity at the moment. So I'm very excited to see what spirits are gonna bring out. So yeah, relative to these energies, relative to all the people who will be watching this video. This one. Whoop. This one as well. Oh, we got some major arcanas coming up. A lot of major arcanas, my god, yeah. As I was saying, very deep energies. Oh my god. Okay. The majority of the cards are major arcanas. Yeah, we're in for deep energies. Deep transformative energies. That's what major arcanas are in tarot. It's like deep energies, deep transformative energies, which the place of major arcanas in tarot are, it's that it depicts topics which tend to transcend human life. Like the topics, the concepts are not just human in nature, like the other cards. So yeah, deep energies, as I was saying. There we have it. Back of the deck energy, I'm gonna see how it's relevant, is the Three of Wands. So I'm gonna start with that actually. The Three of Wands is when you have made a decision, you've taken a decision to pursue a goal, you have a plan in mind, and you're just going for it. It's the card of movement. There can be pace to it, but it's just like moving towards your goals, acting on your goals, and yeah, just going for it. Because there's already the idea is that it's already happening after the Two of Wands, which is the decision making. It's like the decision's already taken, we have a goal and we're going for it. So yeah, we're gonna see how it's relevant later on. I'm putting up just here so we can have a look at the other cards. Yep. So for the cards we have the Star card to begin with. Very interesting. Have the Hermit. We have the Ten of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and then these three, I'm gonna put them below. Got the Destiny card, which is the Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, and the Magician. I like that. I like that. I think I already picked up on the theme even before starting the video, but just let me tune in for a second. Yeah. Yeah, we got it. Like, if you tune into this video, if you're present with me at this moment, what I can say is that we've been in a period lately where we've been having big dreams. We've been having big goals. I feel like most of us have been having some tense moments, some tension, perhaps like things going in a way we wouldn't prefer them to. We wished things would have gone a little differently, and for several different reasons, which are different for every one of us. I'm seeing that the cards at the bottom are outside the field, you can't really see them. Yeah, that's much better. There you go. But yeah, it's like for a while there's been tension, for a while there's been pressure. That's the word. There's been pressure in our lives. And I'm definitely sensing that if you're here, you are already somewhat aware that this pressure is like, I'm hearing the analogy, it's like diamonds are formed with extreme pressure. It's like, you know that, yeah, it's unpleasant, but there's a reason to the madness, so to speak. There's a reason to why it's happening. There are big lessons being learned. There are big transformations happening. Talking about transformation with all of these major arcanas, it's like very deep transformative energies, but nonetheless very uncomfortable. That for sure. And we've been having some big dreams which have been revealed to us. It's like through all of these contrasts, all of these things that we don't prefer, we've been having all of these dreams, all of these desires, but we've been feeling like we couldn't really go for it. It's like we've been having all of these visions, all of these dreams, which may feel, I'm hearing, very ambitious, they would feel far away from where we're currently at. And that would have made us feel tempted to just turn them off, just not listen to our dreams, because it's like, yeah, these are beautiful dreams of ours, but they feel unrealistic or just very far away. So it's like, yeah, perhaps I'm gonna end up achieving that thing, getting there, being that person, but in I don't know how many years from now. So it's very much in this perspective of, yeah, we've been having very big dreams, and this contrast has really revealed in a very obvious manner that which we desire, but we haven't really been believing in them all that much. Mainly because we've been so much, quote unquote, on edge due to the pressure that we've been having. And the Hermit card is indicating me that a lot of us have almost lost interest in the outside, I feel. I genuinely feel that, yeah, there's a strong... I'm trying to pick up if we have multiple perspectives coming up here, or it's just one. But I'm gonna start with the one that I see obvious. Is like, a lot of us are aware that the issue with us not following our dreams was much more internal than external. It's not because the world won't allow it, it's just because we're putting stakes in our own wills. We're blocking ourselves from achieving it. We're blocking ourselves from going for it. From, like the Three of Wands that we had here. It's like, it is because of our beliefs, and I feel that a lot of us are aware of that. Hence the Hermit card, which is like not focusing on the external anymore and going inwards. I feel like there's been a lot of work done inwards, and a strong invitation on that. It's like a lot of us have been guided to just give up on the external and much more focus on the internal, because the external, I feel like the external has been feeling unworkable for most of us. That's why there was so much pressure, because things seemingly don't go our way, seemingly do not happen in our best interest, and that creates a lot of pressure, and it feels outside of our control. So relative to this and these birthing new dreams, most of us just started focusing inwards and saying, yeah, okay, then I want a deep transformation. It's like a lot of us have been yearning for a deep transformation, and I'm feeling like a lot of us are acutely aware of the fact that this transformation is calling for internal actions first, and the other people, I was about to say the other half, but I don't know how many, like what are the proportions amongst the viewers here, but it's like I'm feeling that, yeah, a lot of other people, they are coming to this conclusion right now. It's like, yeah, they've been taking so much action outside, but it's just not moving. It's just not happening. It's like, sure, it's moving, but not any closer to their dreams. It's just this feeling of at first losing faith in the external, and then later realizing that the power isn't within the external, because there is no control over the external. The external is just doing its thing, and at this moment we're just being invited to go within. So there is, at the end of the day, whichever road we took, we all reach this point of, okay, it's within. So let's explore. And that has brought up a lot of emotions. The Ten of Swords is like a very gloomy card. But I'm getting through here, the idea is like, when you look at the car, I mean, doesn't look very happy, does it? With all of the dead birds, but stands one here with a sun behind it, with a star behind it, and it's just like, we've been going through a lot, but now we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. And I'm generally sensing that it's, for most of us, it's just us crossing over many old emotions and just becoming brutally honest with ourselves. It's like, why aren't we following our dreams? Why aren't we the best version of ourselves at this moment in time? It's because we're still playing with old narratives. It's because we're still keeping these blocked emotions within. We're still hanging on to these past stories that we haven't we didn't go into it. So it's like, I'm feeling like we did a lot of work, internal work, where a lot of old emotions came up. And yeah, it took a lot of honesty with ourselves. And I feel like the majority of us are on this one. But it also was very scary because it would take us to just look at ourselves directly in the mirror and to say, yeah, a lot has happened in the past. And not all of it we owned, and not all of it we took the time to digest. But I'm definitely sensing that although we're still right now in the process of digesting, we're starting to see a little bit of the light at the end of the tunnel, because we are, even though we're still in the process, we are seeing that, yeah, it's getting clearer. The more we do it, the more clarity we gain over ourselves, the more clearly we see within ourselves. I'm definitely sensing that a lot of these painful emotions that we crossed over, and a lot of the pressure which is being presented to us in the external, which is just reflecting these emotions I'm sensing, deals with betrayal. Betrayal can happen in many different ways, and we can perceive betrayal as a result of so many different things. It's like, what is it that it took for you to interpret it as betrayal? It could be literally anything. And I'm sensing that a lot of these emotions trail back to these sensations of being turned against, being antagonized, being betrayed, things of that sort, which is understandable why we wouldn't be willing to go with it in the first place. Another thing I'm hearing is the reason to why the external isn't really necessarily playing in our quote-unquote favor is because right now the way it's playing in our favor is by inviting us to go within and do the work. I'm literally sensing like these external circumstances are making it much easier, are presenting us with the triggers to make this process much more efficient, quicker, quote-unquote enjoyable. The least painful possible, because I'm genuinely sensing that, yeah, the external world is bringing up so many triggers that is making it that much easier for us to identify what is it that needs to be faced within. That's a sign message. But I'm definitely sensing that this is the reason to why then we got these three other cards at the bottom. Is like the Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, and the Magician is definitely like the Wheel of Fortune, and especially in this context, like here, it's called Destiny, is really like us realigning with our destiny, I'm hearing. It's just one of the reasons to why things felt like it turned to shit for most of us was because unknowingly, and understandably so, we weren't necessarily aligned with who we are. And that's the deep energies that I was picking up at the beginning. It's like, there is no shaming here involved because we did not know any better. That's what I'm getting. We didn't know any better. That's why we did what we did. That's why we led our life the way we did. But it just wasn't authentic in many different ways. It just wasn't true, and it was exhausting, it was tiring, and eventually we can't sustain it anymore. And the Destiny card is really like fate turning in your favor because you have chosen yourself over your past. Because you've chosen new narratives which allow you to be over narratives that you assumed as a way to cope or were handed down. like choosing yourself over everything else. Just you choosing yourself, and that is realigning you with who you are, actually starting to live your life for you instead of living it for someone else. That's definitely what I'm getting. It's like, yeah, a profound realignment through this work with who you are, and that actually opens up everything. I'm getting in a strong sense of feeling stuck as well lately with these energies. And yet again, it's like this feeling of stuckness is just because the energy is not moving the way you would want it to. Because you feel like we feel that the world is resisting us, whereas what's actually happening is that we are resisting the world. We are resisting it, we are resisting ourselves, we are resisting our destiny, we are resisting our path, our authenticity, thinking that it's the world resisting us. We're just not looking at it from the right way. But when you stop resisting yourself and we just allow ourselves to flow with our truth, with our natural current, all of a sudden things happen much easier. And I'm just sensing, yeah, just things starting to go in a completely different way, in a completely different direction, one that perhaps you would have resisted before, but one which feels so much easier, one which is so much more in flow, because it's our flow. I hope it makes sense, but that's, yeah, the message I'm getting is just realigning with your destiny instead of unknowingly resisting it. And then the Fool, the Magician are beautiful cards. The Fool is just the beginning of a new journey, and I'm genuinely sensing through all of this which has happened and all of these external circumstances which have put all of this pressure onto us and have pushed us into, well, discovering more of ourselves, which is totally the Hermit card. We're up for a new beginning, a new journey where we start discovering ourselves for things that we perhaps didn't know we were before. We're rediscovering ourselves through new beliefs, new narratives. Now that we've let go of all of these things, it's like, okay, well, I thought I was this way, I thought the world was like this, I thought that. I'm realizing that's not true. Incredible healing happens. Then what? Well, then it's time to rediscover it all. And that's really the Fool. It's like it's a very optimistic new beginning. A new journey, a new self-discovery journey where you get to rediscover yourself for who you are without all of the added weight of the false illusionary beliefs that we were carrying around. And the Magician is literally us just starting to I'm sensing a lot of resistance on behalf of some viewers here. It's just us starting to create a life that feels good. And a lot of us are like, well, I don't believe that's possible because I'm feeling pessimistic, because that's how I cope with it. That's understandable, I get it. But it's just like, yeah, it's much easier to create a life that feels good when you're not resisting yourself, when you're not resisting who you are actually. I hope it makes sense, because it feels like, yeah, very deep energies, and half of it doesn't feel understandable by just the regular mind, so I really do hope it makes sense. But that's kind of the energy I'm getting. It's like overall the message is just like, keep going. You know why you're doing this. And yeah, I'm feeling distracted by a lot of emotions I'm picking up here. It's like, yeah, a lot of heavy emotions are coming out to the surface, but it's like, you know why you're doing it. And this process is just for you to get to know yourself, which is ultimately the goal is just for you to fall in love with yourself, realize that you've been your best lover all along, and just going with it, going with your life, aligning with who you are. It's like a very profound transformation, very beautiful transformation, one which will open many doors to our happiness, to ourselves. But in order to open these new doors, we have to let go of things which no longer serve us. A lot of the things we were holding on so far are not compatible with the person and the life that we want to be and have. So there's a lot of letting go. These cards are coming up. What do we have? Full moon eclipse. Well, that's full moon eclipse are one heck of a shaky time, transformational time. New moon in Gemini, gibbous moon, and the disseminating moon. I'm genuinely feeling like conclusions are within reach or very close to achieving it. It's like we are much closer to our desires than what we think. It's just that the way to get to from where we are to where we want to be takes a lot of deep inner transformation, and perhaps we were not anticipating that. And so then it happens and we feel lost and confused because it's like we feel like that's not what we asked for, except it's completely part of what we asked for. And I'm just sensing that we're not realizing how close we are to it. It's that we're much closer to our end result, if it makes sense, than what we would give ourselves credit for. So that's a nice thing to be aware of. Yeah, it's like, don't give up. You're much closer to it than what you think, actually. Take time to breathe out. Communication is key. I'm just sensing with all of these blue energies, it's like the new chapter of life that we're opening from now on is just going to be so much easier, where there's going to be much more communication, much more flow within ourselves, within and with everything around us, especially with our higher minds, our higher self. I just feel like, yeah, just feeling back in flow, in a state of flow where things just align. Synchronicities just happen to organize our life. And just a life where we feel just comfortable taking a breather, taking time out. A lot more relaxation I'm getting from that. And that's nice. That is very nice. Very needed for most of us, I feel. Yeah, the vibe feels heavy still. Not gonna lie. I'm sorry, I'm really getting distracted by these heavy emotions that I'm picking up on right now, but yeah, these sword cards are really striking me. Like, yeah, we are releasing a lot. We're releasing a lot, and that's well needed. We're releasing a lot. Yes, as I was speaking about it. We have ancestors, underworld, and manifest. I love that. I'm literally sensing with the card ancestors, we are letting go. It's like we're doing a lot of inner work at this moment when we're very much focused on our lives and why we may not feel happy and content within ourselves with our lives. What I'm hearing from Spirit that we may not be realizing right now is that a lot of the emotions we're releasing, they're actually ancestral. Really, they're ancestral, like it's ancestral line related. These things that you're feeling, you were not the first one to feel in your family. These quote-unquote problems, these challenges rather that you're facing right now in your life, you were not the first one to face. It's just a lot of, I'd be about to use like the word karma, like a lot of karma, a lot of cycles which have been passed down from generation to generation unknowingly, and that's okay. And it's just right now, it's like you stepping up and just saying, yeah, but I want to be happy. I want to be happy with my life. I want to be content with my life. I want to live the life of my dreams. I want to manifest what I want instead of manifesting just what my family already did or my ancestors already did, you know? And I'm definitely sensing that through this world, we're actually, that's why it feels heavy, because you may be releasing much more than what it appears. That's what I'm hearing. That's an interesting point of view of it, actually. Like, I'm literally hearing Spirit saying, have some compassion for yourself, because the work you're doing, you're basically quote unquote doing it for an entire family, which is not to be taken the wrong way as in you're working for others. That's not it, but rather saying that a lot of what you're doing is like things which have been ignored and lying dormant for perhaps centuries at this point, you know, things that have just never been questioned, never been put to light. And now that you're doing it, well, yeah, it feels like there's a lot that was stuffed under the carpet. A lot was stuffed under the rug, and when you, yeah, pull up the rug to clean it, you're realizing, ooh, that was dirty. It was that dirty below it all along. It's like, yeah, it was. But I'm just sensing, I'm hearing the word cleanse, like we are cleansing so much actually within ourselves. But yeah, having a little, I was hearing the word mercy. Not sure that's the best suited word, but like having some compassion for ourselves, definitely. Having some compassion for the fact that, yeah, you are not responsible of half of these emotions which are coming up. That's okay. That's just a thing. But yeah, recognize be proud of the amount of work that you're doing, and take it easy on yourself. The underworld card is definitely indicating a period of shadow work, if you know this term. Definitely indicating a period where we have been delving into the depths of our being and discovering all of these things that we were not perhaps aware of about ourselves, all of these things that we've been pushing away, suppressing, neglecting about ourselves. We've been bringing all of that up to the surface, which is very, very much what we were discussing with the Swords card earlier. Interestingly enough, what I'm sensing is that we are currently coming out of it. If you're watching this video, it's like, yes, this is what it's like. A lot of it, this is what have been going on, and we are on the finishing. Like we're just before the finish line. That's what I'm hearing. It's like, and I can tell you can feel it too. It's like this has been going on for a while. For some of us, it feels like it has been going on for more than a year. But it's literally hearing is like, it was well worth it. And it's like with all of this clarity, it comes a point where it's like, yeah, you know yourself enough. You are clear enough within yourself to go forward now, So it's like we're coming out of it, definitely. And the card manifest is just like wrapping it all up. I feel like it's like, yeah, when you let go of what has been done and said from an unconscious space for so many generations, when you allow yourself to re-own who you are and come back in harmony and alignment with who you are, instead of operating from this unconscious and quite frankly faulty programmings, you come back to yourself, you regain your power, and now you're conscious of your actions, and now you are actually capable of creating something that you do prefer, instead of unknowingly creating things that were created so many times before you and were not in the best interest of anyone else, just because it was this unconscious generational train of a truckload of limiting beliefs and nasty experiences passed down from one generation to another. It's like, doing this work, you re-own yourself, you re-own your truth, you cut the cords with the past, you cut the ties, you dissolve the knots, and now you are back within your own hands, and now you're able to do it. And I generally see us within this energy of the Three of Wands. It's like, now that we are actually re-owning ourselves, coming back to who we actually are instead of who we thought we were, we're going for it. Now we're following our dreams. And yes, our dreams may feel and seem unconventional to the places we were born on, or for some other viewers, it would be like for our families or just our surroundings. The people around us may be surprised at first that we're not going for what they would go for, but your truth is not theirs. So why would you go for what they believe is good? So that's literally what I'm saying, is I'm resensing us going for it from now on. Really like finishing these last touches. Feels shaky, but we're near the end of everything we wanted and meant to let go, re-owning ourselves, realigning with who we are, and actually starting to go for it. Go for what we do want. Although yet again, it's no longer aligned with the people before us or the people around us. But that's okay, because we know why we want it. It's just who we are by this point. So yeah, very interesting message. That was a lot deeper than what I would have expected it. And I'm sorry if it felt a little heavy at some points. I was not expecting that heaviness to come through as well. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, like it feels like a brutally honest message from spirit. It's like something we actually need to know. It's like, yeah, a lot of us feel like things are not going well, and that's not the point of why these things are happening in the first place, and that needed to be said and heard, I feel, by a lot of us. It's like we need to know that, yeah, things are not feeling good, and we shouldn't be sugarcoating it. They're not feeling good for a reason, and that's the reason. It's like the person that you want to be, the life that you want to live, is not compatible with yesterday's BS. It's not compatible with how people before you thought life should have been lived. It's not compatible with these unconscious programs and these unconscious beliefs about life and yourself. It just cannot coexist. That's why it's all happening at this moment, and you need to know that, yeah, we're closing this chapter. It's like conclusions are within reach, and I was feeling with this guy, it's like we're coming out of it now. And get ready, because from now on things are going to move much quicker, much faster, and yet feel much easier. That's what we call alignment, baby. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what's gonna come out of this situation. I really wish this message to be empowering, to feel a little better, to bring some clarity. Yeah, thank you so much for having shared space with me today. I'd love to know down in the comments if it resonated, how it went for you. And yeah, take care of yourself, all that you need. Get ready for what's to come. And until next time, see ya. Take care.